Hey Bulldogs, happy Tuesday. Well, I only had 2 people comment on yesterday's chapter on whether or not Junie B should keep the pen, and both people thought that Junie B should return the pen. So let's read chapter 6 and find out what Junie B decides to do with the pen she found. Chapter 6 is called My Grandpa's Wallet. I kept my pen in my pocket the rest of the whole day. I didn't want people to see it, or else they might tattle the missus. She would make me take it to the lost and found. Behaved myself very good, because I didn't want to attract attention, that's why. I kept my hand in my pocket so my pen would not fall out. Also, I kept thinking about my mittens, because I still miss those furry guys. I put my head down on the table. Maybe my Grandpa Miller might buy me some more furry mittens, I whispered. Because that would be a perfect solution, I think. I raised up my head. Hey, yeah. Then I would have wonderful new mittens plus a wonderful new pen. And so what more can a girl ask for? That's what I'd like to know. I sat up in my chair and tapped on Lucille. Guess what, Lucille? Maybe my grandpa Frank Miller might buy me some new mittens, and then all my troubles will be over. Lucille said, whoop-de-doo for me. I know it is whoop-de-doo, I said, real thrilled, and so thank you for your support. After school, me and my bestest friend named Grace rode the bus together. I run home from my corner like a speedy bullet. My grandpa Frank Miller was babysitting my brother Ollie. Grandpa Frank Miller, we gotta go to the mitten store, I hollered real loud. Grandpa Frank Miller was in the living room rocking Ollie. He looked funny at me. Go where? He asked. To the mitten store, we gotta go to the mitten store. I pulled on his hand. Get up, let's get a wiggle on. Grandpa Miller looked confused at me. That's how come I had to sit down, and I told him what happened at school. Someone stole my mittens, I said. They stole them while I was being brownie, and I didn't even know where the crooks took that at. I didn't know there were crooks at that place. Grandpa Frank Miller shook his head very sad. I guess you can find crooks almost anywhere, honey, he said. I know it, I told him. That's how come I'm never going to see those furry guys again, and so you and me have to go to the mitten store. I felt in his back pocket. Then I danced around real thrilled. Hooray, I shouted. Hooray for your big fat wallet. 'Cause you got cash in there, right, Grandpa? Right? Grandpa Frank Miller laughed. Yes, I do. I've got cash all right, he said, but I'm afraid we won't be able to buy you more mittens. The mittens I bought were the only furry ones they had left. I bought the very last pair. Just then, all the happy went right out of me, 'cause I didn't actually count on this terrible development. Yeah, only we have to, Grandpa. We have to buy some more furry mittens, or else what will I even do? Grandpa Miller ruffled my hair. Did you look in the lost and found at school, he asked. I did, a sad breath. Yeah, only that dumb thing doesn't work that good, 'cause people don't always turn stuff in. I patted my new pen in my pocket. Trust me on this, I said real soft. Well, your mittens could still turn up. Folks will surprise you sometimes. Then he told me a story about his wallet. A few years ago, I lost my wallet at the mall. I was sure I would never, ever see it again. I bobbed my head up and down. I know it, because finders, keepers, losers, weepers, I said. Finders, keepers, losers, weepers is the rule, right, Grandpa? Grandpa Miller smiled. Well, it might be the rule for some people, he said. But luckily, it's not the rule for everyone. Because the very next day, when I went out to get my mail, there it was. My wallet was sitting right smack in the middle of my mailbox, and not one single penny was missing. His eyes looked happy and sparkly. Can you imagine that, little girl? Someone had the chance to take everything in my wallet, but instead they drove all the way to my house and put it in my mailbox. Just then, he reached in his back pocket and pulled out his wallet. Look what I would have lost if they hadn't returned it, he said. He took a picture out of the wallet and handed it to me. It's you and a baby, I said. But that's not just any baby, he said. That's you, Junie B. That's a picture of the very first time I held you. He took the picture back and stared at it. Nicest thing a stranger ever did for me, bringing this picture back, he whispered real soft. Then he leaned over again, and he kissed me on my head. Boys and girls, if you ever find something that has somebody's name on it, and their address, you should probably return it, especially something with a wallet that has very important information in it, like driver's license, a credit card, money. Those are the things that you should try to return to the owner. But if you're walking down the street and you find a dollar bill on the sidewalk, chances are you're never going to find the owner. So it's okay to keep that. If you find something in school, like a coat or a sweater, you should probably take it to the lost and found or give it to your teacher, because somebody's mom and dad probably worked really hard to buy that for them, and then that child can go to the lost and found and find it. I know it's kind of tricky sometimes to decide what to do, but always try to do the right next thing. Do the next right thing. I think that's in Frozen, isn't it? Do the next right thing. All right, boys and girls, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.